Hello, I'm Peter Byers, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about three, principles or expectations that I've tried to base my life on. Sadly, as is inevitable in life, I haven't succeeded in all of them, but I do remember them and I try. I remember I was a little place called Passage in Meg or Metheringham in Lincolnshire. We lived in an old stone-built house next door but one to my Granny Nicholson. Now, Granny was a very wise lady, and I remember very, very clearly she said, "Peter, you remember that you are as good as anyone, and if you can afford to pay for it, then you're entitled to be in any place that you wish or want or would like to be in. Don't do yourself down." Well, that was something that I found to be absolutely whiz-o-bang true in my life, and I think I've not done too badly in living at that one. A second one was when I was quite a bit older. I think I may have found out, worked it out before, but a chap who has become a good mate of mine called John Hanna, hotelier extraordinaire, said, "Peter, remember, if you're in a hotel and you're paying them money, then for the time that you are in that hotel, it is your home, and they, the hoteliers and their staff, should be happy to treat you as such." And I thought, yeah, that makes a great deal of sense to me, John. I shall remember that. And last but not least, and it's one that I suspect I've had a bit more difficulty sort of living up to, but it's a properly good thing to live up to. I was sent on an assessment and training course by one of my old bosses, and the chap running the course said, "I want you to think about this, and I want you to remember it in your life, and you may have to change your ways to comply with it. And what I want to say to you is, before you say something, you should think about how it will affect the people that are listening to you, and make sure that it leaves them in a state of mind that you want them to be and would be happy with. And the same with the written or published word. Think how it's going to affect the readers before you publish it." Now that actually is such brilliant advice, it beggars belief, and that's the one that I try. God, Lord knows I try, but I don't always succeed. And I remember after giving us this advice on the course, the chap said, "I want you to do some role playing, and we're going to video you while you're doing it." And he said, "I want Peter Byers, you to play the part of a boss who is just in the process of firing a man for gross misconduct. Instant dismissal for gross misconduct." And to some other student on the course, he said, "I want you to play the person who's being sacked." And I thought about this, and there was a mock office, and they brought the chap in to me, and I took him to pieces and knocked him down and called him it made him feel half-inch high. And afterwards they reviewed this, and the tutor said, "Peter, you didn't remember it, did you? You should try and leave everybody happy, and you should be aware of what you're doing. And if it comes that way, then you should be confident that you've left the person feeling how you wanted them to feel, and you made that chap feel small." And the chap piped up and he said, I felt as though it was real," he said, "and I couldn't believe I was getting kicked in the gullies like that." And I listened to all of this, and I said, "Do you know, if I was sacking somebody for gross misconduct, instant dismissal, I would not want them to walk away feeling happy. I'd want them to be blooming disgusted." So that gave everybody some pause for thought, and some of them understood and some of them didn't, and I'm not sure I was the sort of star of that training course after that. But think what the effect is going to have on other people before you speak or publish words is a very, very sound principle. And most of the time, it seems to me, you should be helping people to feel good about themselves. And that's the one I most of the time I do, and I succeed, but there's some notable exceptions for which I'm sad and ashamed. But there you are. Anyway, those are the three principles. There are others, like don't spit on the floor and such, but they're trivial. Those three that I've given you are the main ones that I've tried to follow in my life. And then it comes to the real cause or basis for the video at all, and that's why I called it Peter's Expectations. Right, so now we come to expectations, and I'm going to start by speaking about hotels and restaurants, and I guess from my ramblings about them you'll see how I've attempted to set my standards, if you like, and expectations in life. Now, if you go into a five-star restaurant or five-star restaurant in a five-star hotel, and you look at the menu and you see there's nothing I fancy on that, there's nothing wrong, illegal, or whatever for you to say politely, "Do you think, please, I could have some burnt bangers and mash with some thick onion gravy?" Now, they'll either say, "Yes, of course you can, if you've got the time to wait," and obviously you will have the time to wait, or "No, sorry, we only work to our menu," or "Sorry, we don't serve that sort of food." Now, assuming that it's all been polite and civil and proper, then the opportunity is for you to go back to the menu and find something the least bad, if you like, or to say, "Okay, thank you very much, sorry to have bothered you, and goodbye," and walk away with dignity. So that, it seems to me, is a reasonable thing to do. If you don't see what you like, then ask for something different, and if they can't or won't, then the choice is yours. Now, the same, it seems to me, applies to five-star hotels and any other thing. If you're going to pay somebody some money for goods or services, then you should reasonably expect to get looked after appropriately. Now, one of the things that I've set firmly in my life is I will always pay the bill as it's presented. Well, maybe if it's 100 times bigger than expected, then I might sort of frown and wonder and worry a bit. But basically, if I disagree with the bill, I pay it and then I ask questions after. And that way, no one can say, look, you're trying to get it on the cheap, because the answer is, well, look, I've already paid the bill. But I just can't understand this item on it. So that's that. Now, if you're in a 5-star hotel, they're going to charge you serious money, and you should expect serious good service. And it seems to me, if you need to ask them for something that they don't have, that it's not unreasonable if they're able to go out quickly somewhere not far away and get that thing that they don't have. I mean, I, for example, like to drink Coke Zero because of my diabetes. And it seems to me if a 5-star hotel doesn't have it, and there are places nearby that have some, then it's perfectly reasonable for me to hope and expect they'll say, look, we're going to take a few minutes, but we'll go out and get some for you. If they say, no, we don't have that, then you think, well, hang on a minute, this is not really proper 5-star service, is it? And it seems also to me that if you frequent a hotel reasonably regularly, a 5-star hotel, and you let them know that you're coming at whatever time of day and what day it is, it's not unreasonable to expect that they will look at their guest history and say, yes, he likes this and that and 20 other things, so we'll make sure we can do that for him. And if hotels, 5-star hotels don't do that, my reaction usually is they really don't want or deserve my money, and I'm not going to force them to have it. Now, some people say, well, that's been unreasonable, Peter, but hang on, it's my money, they're charging a blooming fortune, I can afford it, and I expect it. Now, there's one story that I'll tell you. Well, no, before we do, I think you have to set your expectations according to the place you're going into. You wouldn't go into a McDonald's burger thing and say, I want some bangers and mash and thick onion gravy, because it's patently obvious they're not going to be able to provide it. So you don't make requests that are so outrageous and unreasonable that they're not going to do it, because you're going to get bounced out, aren't you? So you suit your request to the place that you're in. Now, I used to go very regularly to a seriously top 5-star country house hotel, and I used to dine there very, very frequently. And I was talking to a young waiter in between courses, and he said, have you got something like, have you got a good weekend planned? And I said, yes, I'm driving up to Lincolnshire to see my mother. And he said, oh, I come from Lincolnshire, and I shall be going up this weekend as well. Pardon me. So I said, well, how are you going? I should go on the train, I suppose. I might hitch it, but I'm going. So I said, look, I'll pick you up and I'll take you up, and I'll pick you up and I'll bring you back. Oh, that's good. So we went up together, and I went on about 15 miles past past mother's place, so that I could drop him at home, and arranged a time to pick him up. We came back. We stopped at a transport cafe. I remember it well. It was a place place called Jack's Hill Cafe. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely transport cafe on the old A1. And I ordered what people who know me regularly call a Byers Grand Omelette, and that's a fairly large omelette with cheese, with chopped onions, chopped up mushrooms, and chopped up bits of crispy bacon. Well, it came out and it was on a thick old plate, and there was juice from the mushrooms running all over the plate, and I ate it and I loved it. Well, a few days or weeks later I was at Clifton and I ordered a Byers Grand Omelette, and up it came on a stunning, stunning china plate, in a bone china plate, in a stunning, stunning restaurant with stunning, stunning views out of the window, and there was juice from the mushrooms all over the plate. So I sent it back and asked if I could have it done properly. Well, a few days later this waiter lad said, "Can I ask you something?" And I said, "Yeah, of course you can." And he said, "You ate it at Jack's Hill Cafe? You sent it back here?" I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Well, Jack's Hill Cafe charged me £2.50, and here I'm going to pay 12 or 15 quid for it. So you set your expectations based on the place you're at." "Oh, okay, I understand." So that was a wonderful example. Now, there is a cafe not far from me. It's never going to get Michelin stars, but it's got a chef or a cook, whatever he likes to call himself, that's really on top of his game. And I wander in and I tell them what I'd like, and they know how I like it cooked, and they deliver it. Service is perfect, food is bloody marvellous, and we know where we stand. I don't pay 5-star prices there, but I give them a good tip, and that's that. So expectations, set your expectation based on the place that you're at, and if you don't feel you're getting value for money as far as that place is concerned, then don't go back to it. It's quite simple, isn't it? Well, anyway, that's me finished rambling about expectations, and I thank you for listening and watching. Not that there's been much to watch, but thank you, and goodbye.